Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys for always coming back to watch my video. I want to say a very big thank you to all my subscribers. Thank you so much for your love and support. So in today's tutorial, we'll be learning how to make this lovely, beautiful, trendy turban. So please, if you have not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe, press the notification bell to get notified whenever I upload a new video. Like and share this video. So I have two fabric here. So the fabric I have here is a scuba fabric. As you can see, this is a light scuba fabric. And the measurement I have here is 23 inches by 20 inches. So the length is 20 inches by 23 inches. So 23 inches is the edge circumference. So 23 inches is the edge circumference, while the length is 20 inches. And you cut the edge circumference where you have the stretchy part on the fabric. So this is it. Then I also have two fabric. This is 8 inches by 28 inches. 8 inches by 28 inches. And this is 7 inches by 28 inches. 7 inches by 28, then 8 inches by 28 inches. I also have my foam. This is a half-inch foam. So you can see half-inch foam. I'll be explaining what to do with the foam later. So the first thing I will do, we'll be forming our pleat on this part. What I need is like just three pleats. So the first thing, you fold this rough edge, you fold it inward like this. You fold it, then after that, so when you fold it in like this, you now start taking your pleat. So what I need is just three pleats. One, then you take another one. You can see. So this is how it will look like. You just form three pleats like. So I'll be doing that. Then this other fabric, I will just fold it like this. I'll fold it like this, then I'll sew it down. I'll also do the same. I'll also do the same thing for this. I'll fold it like this, then I'll sew it down. So I'm done with the pleat. As you can see, 1 2 3, I'm done with the pleat. So when you're forming your pleat, you can measure it. Just measure out 1 inch on this side and 1 inch on this side. So that 1 inch that you have measured will help you. It will serve. That 1 inch you have measured on both sides, it will serve as a guide. So when you're sewing, it will be easy for you to sew. So the next thing, I'll fold it like this. So the next thing, I'll fold it. So I'll fold it this way. So I'll fold it like this. Then I'll measure out 3 or 4 inches down. Then I'll curve it out like this. I'll just give it a curve. So this for the turban base. So I'll just curve it out like this. So this is what we have. I'll set this aside. I'm also done with the fabric. So the next thing I'll do, I'll turn it inside out. I'll just turn it inside out. Then the sewn part will be at the middle. I'm done sewing the fabric and I've turned it inside out. So this is the back. So you ensure that the sewn part is at the middle, just like this. Then I'll be placing my foam. The measurement I have here is 3 inches. So the measurement I have here for the foam is 3 inches. So you cut out 3 inches, because that's what I'll be fixing on this part. 3 inches foam. The same thing with this. I also fix it on this part. Basically, cut out the foam, the measurement of the foam that will fit into your fabric. So I'll take the foam and start placing it inside the fabric. I'll quickly do that, then I'll show you. So I'm done fixing the foam in the fabric, as you can see. So I'm done fixing the foam. So I will reduce it. The foam does not need to get to this part. So I've reduced it on this part because we are going to be sewing this part. So the next thing, I will reduce the foam on this part. I will just cut it so that we have space here to sew. I'll also do the same thing on this part. So the length of the foam is 3 inches by 27 inches. And at the end of the day, you see that I cut out some parts of the foam because we are going to be sewing this part. So the next thing to do is to take this smaller fabric, this 7 inches, and place it on the 8 inches like this. So you can see there's a gap between this and this. So this is like a pleat. So at this point, you can use your needle to tack this and this together, or you can use your UHU glue. You can use your UHU glue to glue this fabric to this fabric like this, or you can use your hot glue if you have your hot glue, or better still, you can use your needle and thread to tack this down part and this other part together. You just tack it down, but I'll be using my UHU glue. So I'll be placing it on this other one. Ensure that this part and this part align. So I'm done gluing both parts together, as you can see. So the next thing I'll do, I'll bring out my base. So this is the base. So I'll get my base. So I'll place it like this. I'll place it towards this pleat like this, like a slant. Then I'll sew it down to hold this fabric and the turban base together. Then I'll sew it down. Then I'll come to this part also. I also place it down like this. Then I'll sew it like this. So I'm done sewing it, as you can see. So this is how it looks like after sewing. So the next thing, I'll turn it inside out like this. I'll place it like this. Then I'll sew. I'll sew it from here. I'll sew it from this part like this, straight down. Then, then I'll continue my sewing. I'll sew it like this all the way to this point. So if your sewing machine cannot sew this part, you can use your needle and thread to carefully sew it down. So that's what I'll be doing now. Sew it all the way around. So this part was too thick for my sewing machine. So I'm using my hand needle to sew it. So like I said, I use a light scuba fabric. You can actually use a poly fabric that is more lighter than the light scuba fabric. So I'm done sewing, as you can see. So the next thing, I'll be using my needle and thread to draw a running stitch from this point. Then I'll stop all the way to this point. So from here, I'll draw a gather stitch to this point. So I'll do it. So you can actually weave your fabric. This rough part, you use your sewing machine to weave it before you draw your gathers. So I will sew it back to secure it. I'll sew it back to secure it. So this is how it looks like, as you can see. So I'll be placing my applique on it. So this is the design that I have. You can get this more unique design where they sell tailoring material. So this is what I have. So I'll use my glue, then carefully glue it on this part like this. I can decide to use one since it's wide. So I can decide to use one like this since the applique is wide, or I can make it two, or I can decide to double it like this. So it depends on what you want. So now I'll use my UHU glue. So now I'll use my UHU glue to glue it down. So this is what I have after gluing the design on the turban cap. You can see it's separate. So after wearing your turban cap, you just take this and place it on it and arrange it. You can see it's separate. And when you're taking your measurement, don't forget to take your head circumference. So but before you join the turban cap together, you measure out your head circumference. If your head circumference is 22 inches, so that means you have to measure out 11 inches. You measure out 11 inches before you sew it down. So take your head circumference. If it's 20 inches, you measure out 10 inches before you sew this part down. So I'll be placing it on my mannequin for you guys to see. You can actually use a lighter fabric to make this turban cap.